Chris and Cash Show.
Chris and Cash Podcast.
It's Thursday, February 15, 2018.
It is.
So, I'm just going to start because he's looking up shit. I'm sure you guys saw on Sunday the Celtics got thrashed, and they've lost 4 out of 5, and they've looked absolutely horrendous. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have come back down to earth. Kyrie has to try to do it all himself. It's just not pretty.
He's just not that good.
He's had like 30 every game.
He's not that good.
He doesn't have enough talent around him.
That's weird. They were winning games like that last year with Isaiah. And again, I don't think Isaiah's a better player overall, but Isaiah last year is still better than Kyrie this year. That's just true. I'm sorry.
Isaiah's on his way out of the league.
I'm not saying... Dude, I even... There's a bajillion texts and emails between me and you where I'm like, he's going to be better than Isaiah in the future. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Kyrie has still yet, to this point in his career, including this year, never had a season as good as Isaiah Thomas's last year. Doesn't mean Isaiah's a better player. It means he had 1 year better than anything Kyrie's ever had.
Last year, when he was ranked dead last out of 300-something players in defensive rating.
How was he on offense?
That Isaiah Thomas?
I'm sorry, you can hate James Harden, but he's going to be MVP, and him and LeBron are the best 2 players in the league. It's not even fucking close.
Neither one of them are going to win a ring.
Dude, what does that have to do with being the best player in the league?
James Harden's
Who's the best player in football this year?
He's never going to win a championship.
Who's the best player in baseball last year?
In baseball?
Yeah.
It's subjective. There's so many guys. I don't know. Altuve was pretty good.
Did he win a ring?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah, exactly.
How many years has Mike Trout been the best player in baseball?
A few.
How many rings he's got?
0.
All right, dude, that's not how it works.
Baseball's way different.
It is way different, but in basketball, you can be the best player. You can be the MVP and not fucking win the championship. It's true.
James Harden could win 8 MVPs. He's never going to win a title. He's never going to be the alpha on a championship team, ever.
Oh, this Houston team's actually really good.
That's great.
They're like 27-1 when him, Capella, and friggin' what's his face, CP3 play.
Cool. Neat. They're still not going to win it.
Well, it's going to be hard to fucking beat them if they only lose 1 game all season as a team. The 3 of them combined playing. Those are their 3 best players.
They won't even get out of the West.
They probably won't. But you're missing my point.
No, I understand.
If they're going to go 29-1 or whatever it is,
James Harden was
28-1 or 27, whatever it was.
If James Harden is as good as you say he is, he should carry that team to the finals.
Well, Golden State's loaded. You realize that?
Mm-hmm.
Like beyond loaded.
Mm-hmm.
Like the most loaded team ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like so. This goes back to when people are like, oh, Michael Jordan's best ever, 6-0, the finals. Oh, Joe Montana's best ever, 4-0 in Super Bowls. Yeah, who the fuck did they play? Who did they play in the Super Bowl? Joe Montana's 4-3 in championship games. Tom Brady's 8-4. Tom Brady played much harder teams in the Super Bowl. Put it this way, let me explain something to you. Joe Montana never played a team as good as this year's Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. True or false? Joe Montana never played a team as good as the Philadelphia Eagles this year in the Super Bowl. 100% true.
It's tough to say.
No, it's not tough to say. True. I didn't say the quarterback's better. Yeah, he played better quarterback.
His 84
I said teams.
His 84 team had to face the best offense in the league that year, which is Miami, and they held them to 16
right,
points.
because they had a great, incredible quarterback. But the team overall still was not as good as this Philly team.
The 84 Dolphins was better than this Philly team.
No.
They were.
No, this Philly team, even with a backup quarterback, would beat the 84 Dolphins.
No, just because of
84. Wanna know why?
No, just
How
because...
many points?
No.
How many points would they score on them?
Just because...
A bajillion.
Just because of 84 Marino.
The Philly would have beat them up on both lines, to be honest with you. Same thing they did the Patriots.
84 Marino throws all over the
84 Marino isn't as good as 2017 Tom Brady.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does matter. And I just said that. It's true. I don't care what the fucking stats say.
No,
I don't.
84 Dolphins are better, even though that was an aging D, and they couldn't stop the run.
Yeah, how were they going to stop Philly?
Philly didn't run the ball at all in that Super Bowl. They didn't run
But they would have on Miami. For sure.
Philly threw it 60 times. It was smart. Worst pass defensive football.
You don't think they would have put up depends what era they're playing in, I guess. You don't think they would have put up fucking a 50 spot on Miami?
Mm-mm. The 89 Niners was actually really impressive because Denver had the best defensive football that year. Their offense.
Did Joe Montana ever play any team as good as the 2014 Seattle Seahawks?
What?
Did he play any team in the Super Bowl as good as the Seahawks?
In the Super Bowl, no. In the NFC, you can make a case.
Well, that's why he got stopped in some NFC championship games. He got stomped in a fair number of fucking playoff games. You realize that, right?
That Seattle team was better than any team he faced.
And I know he actually got the snot beat out of him a couple times in the playoffs.
Like the 88...
Like almost dead Joe Montana on the...
The 88 Bengals are probably better than the 88 Niners. Joe Montana just drove them down the field at the end of the game to win the game.
That was the best team they played, the Bengals.
Not the 81 team, the 88 team.
Yes.
Boomer Esiason's MVP team.
I still don't think they're as good as some of the teams Tom Brady played in the Super Bowl. I don't. The Rams were better than anybody that they played.
Oh, yeah. That team was loaded.
That Rams team was ridiculous. Those Giants teams sucked. I'm so upset right now.
The 07 team was pretty good.
Thinking about
the 11 team sucked.
We have 5 Super Bowls, but
I'm not even...
Is it one of those things where you could say they should have more?
I'm not even terribly upset.
I'm not upset either.
Because
I was only upset about Belichick. I'm still upset about Belichick.
I would have been upset if the Patriots were the better team and they lost. They weren't the better team. I didn't think they were the better team going into the game, and they certainly weren't the better team during the game. So it's tough to beat yourself up over it. Now, having said all that, they probably still should have won.
Well, they should have won. Probably. If you take into consideration Philly had 2 touchdowns over, one of them probably shouldn't have been, one of them should. Whatever. That's fine.
I thought they were.
You miss a field goal, you miss an extra point, you let up a touchdown on a trick play where they don't even line up correctly because that was an illegal formation for sure.
Ferrara talked about that the other day.
It was evident. Everyone did. They didn't have enough men on the line. If they are, he's ineligible.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not, he has to report as ineligible. I mean, R is eligible, and it wasn't correct formation.
It evens out. It evens out. Like,
well, they shouldn't have beat the Rams.
No.
You could say they shouldn't have beat Seattle or Atlanta.
I'll give you an example. Something my dad always says. Since he's been watching the Celtics, he says the Celtics had 2 lost titles, is what he calls it. The 58 team, that's the year that Russell hurt his ankle in the final, and they lost like 3 games by like a point each. So that was a lost title. And then the 73 title, the 73 team, won 68 games. They just crushed everyone all year. Havlicek separated his shoulder in the East Finals, and they lost in 7.
The 80s titles? He could have won more.
Nah, he doesn't really consider any of the 80s titles lost. Why? He always talks about 58 and 73 with like 2.
So what does he say about this?
2 great teams. I'll get to that in a minute. But like he always said, it evens out. They didn't win it in 58. They should have, but they had no right winning it in 69, and they did. And then they had no right winning it in 76, but they did. So he thinks like the Celtics all evened out. I'm still waiting for reparations from having like 2 players die and having KG rip.
How did Joe Montana do in that game in the playoffs?
Which game?
The highlighted one.
Oh, that's the worst game you ever played.
And he went 1 and done, right?
Yeah. He lost 49.
So would it have been? So if he had made the Super Bowl,
I wasn't even talking about Brady. Why? First of all, I should kick you out of my house right now for comparing James Harden to Tom Brady. That's number 1.
I didn't compare James Harden to Tom Brady.
We were talking about James Harden. I was saying how he's
we went off on a tangent.
We also have a wing bet that Trump's going to get impeached, and it's not going to happen.
Do we? You telling me the wing bet from friggin' that you keep saying doesn't exist?
What? Vince Carter?
No, the Vince Carter one I already let go. The Tom Brady Pro Bowl one, making Pro Bowls when Jimmy Garoppolo was off the team.
I offered to buy you 5 wings as a compromise just to shut you up, so I don't want to hear it.
Oh, shut your face.
You were like, no, it's okay, Scotty.
It is okay, but that's not the point. I'm going to hold that over you forever. I'd rather just not eat the wings and hold it over you.
I'd rather just give you the 5 wings.
I know, but I'd rather just not shut the fuck up. You just want me to shut the fuck up. Same thing with the MVP thing. You're like, you gonna shut the fuck up now? You gonna shut up? You got 3 of them. Is that good enough?
I'm serious. I'm serious. Are you gonna let it go now that he has the 3rd one?
I haven't said anything about it.
So you're not gonna complain like, oh, Brady should have more MVPs the rest of your life.
Not unless he goes super ham and like fucking throws 8,000 touchdowns, 0 picks, and they go 16-0 next year and he doesn't win it because fucking Kicker McGee wins it.
I thought Brady was better last year than. In 2016 than this last year.
He just played fewer games, and
that makes it more impressive. I keep telling people that.
But Matt Ryan was incredible last year too. I didn't hate the pick. I mean, that's the thing, and I don't want to get on a Tom Brady fucking MVP tangent, but you could argue. You could argue every year he has a case. I don't think 3 is enough.
I don't think he's
2 wasn't enough.
No, I don't think he's ever been quote unquote screwed.
I didn't say. I've been over it too. I never say he was screwed. I keep saying it. I'm not. People always miss
the one
people
year
mistake my position. Like, oh, you hate Kyrie and you think they lost the trade. No, they paid too much, and I don't think Kyrie's fucking top 5 all player of all time. Like, just gonna drag him to fucking banners through all the way through 22 banners. Like, that's what everyone seems to like. People were like parading in the streets like KG. I've been over this with you. He's not KG. He's not Larry Bird.
I never said he was.
I didn't say you said he was. I'm saying the general consensus is this guy's just fucking dynamite. He's like top 5 player in the league. No, he's not.
Then there he is. He's not
top 5. He's not top 10.
He's not as good as
borderline
those guys.
top 10.
He's not as good as those
Again,
guys.
my whole point was he never even had a season as good as IT, and you overpaid for him, considering what other people were playing for stars. I didn't say I hated the move. I even told everyone I must have used the word meh on the move about 500 times. Now, has he been better, and has IT been worse, and has it worked out for the Celtics? Sure. So far, they've quote-unquote won the trade. I never said they were going to lose the trade. Okay? I just said I think they overpaid.
I still don't think they overpaid.
I do. And I don't think Kyrie's as good as everyone thinks he is. And then, Kyrie's MVP. No, well, if Kyrie's your MVP, how the fuck isn't he winning games for you right now?
Well, he won a lot of games for you in December, in January.
So did Jaylen Brown and Tatum. Again, I told you, there was multiple games with Jaylen Brown was the best player on the court.
Multiple games he's been the worst player on the court, too.
I didn't say that.
He's had games like 1 for 12.
How many times did Michael Jordan need someone else to be the best player on the court for him?
Never.
Right. That's why Kyrie is not even close to that level. No one's saying just Michael Jordan, but
I'm never saying this.
I didn't say you did. He's not James Harden. Kyrie's not James Harden. You hate James Harden.
Kyrie has a ring.
He played with LeBron. Transfer James Harden over to the freaking Cleveland Cavaliers.
That's even more impressive. LeBron's one of the biggest choking dogs in big moments in NBA history.
It's really not. Those numbers are completely. Next podcast.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna literally
look up all the numbers of him in elimination games and
he's ridiculous.
Yeah,
he's ridiculous at the end of games. He's ridiculous in crunch time. He's ridiculous in any stat. That's the funny thing is people be like Kobe's so clutch. That motherfucker just puts nuts on the table. That shit fucking shatters. Because Kobe Bryant sucks in the clutch. Kobe Bryant misses a ton of shots. His field goal percentage in the clutch is like fucking 30. LeBron James shoots like over 50 in the clutch. People forget about all the great LeBron James moments. What the fuck did he do to the Celtics when they were up 3-2 in that series?
In 2012?
Yeah.
Celtics didn't show up.
No, what did he do?
He went off for like
He came
45.
here and went, in like fucking 2 quarters, and then was like, I'm going to sit down the rest of the game because y'all motherfuckers can't stand with me.
Before Ray,
what did he do against Detroit to get into his first finals?
What did he do?
Oh my God, he loses in the finals all the time. Yeah, what did he do? He defeated a superior team by him fucking self, like me and you and fucking Zildrunas Ilgauskas, okay?
What did he do in 2011 against Dallas?
He choked in the finals. That's the one time.
No. That's not a choke. That's worse than a choke.
What, did he gag on Kobe's dick? Come on, Scotty. He lost.
He averaged like 15 a game.
Dude, he choked.
Awful. What did he do in 2013? Before Ray Allen made that 3. Did you watch that fourth quarter?
Not that bad.
Did you watch that fourth quarter?
I did. He was not that bad.
I saw...
By the way, I was rooting against the Heat. This is the thing I've explained to you. I have a love-hate with LeBron. I fucking hate LeBron. I think he's a douchebag. I don't root for him. I don't want him to win. I love the fact that he is actually a good person in a lot of ways, even though he's a pompous asshole. He's a good person. He's good with the community, blah, blah. He gives a lot of money. He does a lot of things for charity. He's an incredible talent, dude. You can sit here and hate him all you want. Individual talent-wise, it's like him and Wilt and Jordan. And it's probably him and Wilt, actually. Probably like him, Wilt, and Kareem, individual talent-wise. Even better than Jordan. Talent-wise. Just pure talent.
You should really put him in the same sentence as Wilt and Kareem.
Talent-wise. Yes, talent-wise.
Oh, God,
please. Scotty, talent-wise, there may be no player better or as good as LeBron James. If you had to create a basketball player, attitude aside, physically, strength, endurance, which he doesn't have the best endurance, but I'm talking about add everything together. Athleticism, speed, size, ability to move with the ball, dribble, shoot, dunk, everything. Defend. LeBron's as close to perfect as you can see, ever.
He's one of the most mentally weak athletes in the history of sports.
What did he do against...
He's a mental midget.
What did he do against Boston in that series?
There was no pressure on him.
What did he do against Golden State in 2 series in a row?
There was no pressure on him.
I told you he should have been the finals and be the series they lost. He averaged like 40, 10, and 11 or whatever it was.
Yeah, we had a biggest argument about that.
Right. He deserved it. I don't care. Maybe they could have given it to Brady. I wouldn't have hated it. Well, they could have given it until LeBron. It was the same kind of thing. I'm sorry. Yes, they were the losing team. But when the guy is clearly the best player...
By my principle, Brady shouldn't have been the MVP. His team
Right, by your principle. But I'm saying that principle can be at fault. I'm not a huge fan of the losing guy winning it, especially if it's close. But if this guy is head and shoulders better than everybody, that's why I didn't hate the Foles one, because let's be real, Foles was very damn good, and he also caught a touchdown. I have no problem with Fultz winning it in that regard. But when the other guy is clearly the best player and clearly the most valuable player, but his team loses the...
Should Jerry West have been Finals MVP in '69?
I don't hate it. I told you that. I don't hate it.
Here's my point.
Just saying, especially if there's already a precedent, why can't LeBron be Finals MVP?
Who was the best player in the 1969 NBA Finals?
Probably Jerry West.
By a mile.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Oh.
Red after that game. That was the greatest exhibition I've ever seen in my life. That's from Red, who saw it all. Okay?
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been MVP. His team
Dennis
lost.
Rodman was the best athlete friggin'
Team
Phil
lost.
Jackson ever had. So people do say things that...
You could argue Rodman should have been an MVP in one of those finals, but they were going to defer it to Jordan.
Because he got like 5 bajillion rebounds and was awesome on defense.
I've never seen anyone play defense like that.
I've never seen anyone rebound like that. Statistically, he rebounds better than Wilton Russell. Just
If
slow
you go
pace
by
game.
the pace, yeah.
Yeah. And he's just that much of an outlier. Like, the man could just rebound anything.
I still think for rebounding, those two are up here and everyone else is down here. But
No. You got to put people. Rodman has to be up there, and then you get the guys like the Ben Wallaces and the KGs, and the even though you hate him, what's his face, Dwight Howard.
No, he could rebound.
He's led the league in rebounding what, 5 times?
No one ever talks about Barkley. He was a monster. He grabbed 13, 14 boards a game.
He was. He wasn't as good as KG though.
Barkley was also 6'5". For that size, he's the best rebounder ever.
For his size, Isaiah Thomas is the best rebounder ever. You know what I mean? That's not what would determine it. It would determine the best rebounder. I'm like, for his ugly shot, Markelle Fultz is the best scorer ever.
Oh, man. I want to talk about Fultz, actually.
I know. That's why I'm segueing into that for you. But.
All right. You want to look up shit while I talk about Fultz?
Yeah, look up whatever.
All right.
Google shit. I'm going to Google it.
All right. I do want to talk about Markelle Fultz. This was a guy a year ago. What were you and I saying a year ago? At this time.
It wasn't a year ago.
It was about a year ago.
No, it was less than that. It was near draft time. If you remember, I liked Lonzo before him originally.
I was staying up late watching UW games to watch him play.
Yeah, we weren't saying he was, but no, we weren't.
Okay, April, May. What were we saying?
That we wanted Fultz because he's the best player.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what everyone was saying.
Scored all 3 levels, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years he led the league in rebounding.
Who did?
Dwight. Pretty fucking impressive.
How many did Barkley? Look up him real quick. We'll get back to Fultz in a second.
It's hard to say. I don't know how many. If he led maybe once. It wasn't that many.
I want to say it was at least 2.
I think it was once, but we'll check.
Oh, no. Up.
It was once.
Well, yeah.
86, 87, 14.6 rebounds a game. That was his one. I mean, he was always a very good rebounder, especially considering his size. You're right; he was an incredible rebounder for his size. I mean, guys like 6'2".
How many? Look up 2 more guys. How many times did Rodman lead the league?
Rodman led the league, I think,
4 or 5 times.
No, it was a lot.
Look up Rodman and then
Ben Wallace led the league a bunch, and
Garnett led.
Garnett was 4, I believe.
I thought Garnett was more than that. How many did Rodman?
I think it was 6, but not positive. 7. 7 for Rodman.
Yeah, sounds about right. It's actually more than I thought. What about Olajuwon? Did Olajuwon ever lead in rebounding?
I don't know. I'm not sure that he did, but there's a lot of other great rebounds at the time. Hold on. Kevin Garnett.
Not Kevin Gamble.
And look, we're going to get into a couple things in a minute, but he led the league 4 times. See?
4 years in a row, right?
I know my shit.
Or 4 or 5 or 6.
Oh, don't recall. And then Ben Wallace was a few years.
Look up Hakeem, see if he ever did.
I will. Hold on. Hakeem.
Yeah, they got Garnett a few years too late.
If they got Garnett early and he doesn't get injured, they have more titles. That's if KG came 5 years earlier, he would have.
2.
No, he says 5 though. That's what he says now.
No,
twice.
2.
Yeah.
What years?
88 and 89.
He didn't in the 90s, huh?
No, he wasn't as much of a stat freak in some ways in the 90s, but he was definitely, because he had a couple transcendent years. That's really it. Other than that, he was like a top 10ish, top 15ish player, really, if you look at his career.
I think he was top 10 for a long time.
No.
See, I always think that Olajuwon was better than you do.
Oh. We'll go down here for a minute, okay?
He was the best defensive center by far.
I know.
When he played.
Look, second best defensive player probably of all time, okay? Went over this with you. And it's probably, I don't want to say not that close, but second best defense player probably of all time. You know what? That's a bad one to look at. Hold on. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm going to look at his Wikipedia page because it's easier to explain it from there. Olajuwon. And I can go back and do his stats in a moment. You time to see a first team player?
I don't have my glasses on. Who? 6-time All-NBA first team.
Okay. 6. I'm going to tell you right now, a couple of those years, there was some other forwards and centers, forwards and guards, excuse me.
97 was kind of at the
that
end.
were better than him. He was probably closer to like player 7, 8, 9 for a while. Top 10 player. Top 15 some years. You look at...
See, I got him top 15 all time.
No,
I do.
I that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying a lot of times in his career, he was not close to the best player in the league. He was transcendent for a few years, Scotty. Let's just look at his MVP award shares, okay? Not that I want to get too deep into some of this crap, but 12th, 4th, 7th, 7th, 5th, 7th, 18th, 2nd, 1st. That's what's transcendent 2 years.
Some of that is your
5th,
team.
4th, 7th.
Some of that is your team.
Some of it's your team, but if you are a statistical freak, even if your team sucks, you're usually in the top couple. You won't win MVP usually if your team's not winning.
Like,
yeah, no. If you're incredible but your team sucks,
right.
You're still second or third in MVP voting. That's how it works.
Because if Garnett was on even half decent teams most of his career, he'd have like 5 MVPs. He only has 1.
Right, but like I just said,
He should have won in
when
08.
KG was incredible but not winning.
Kobe
We're
won
not
the
winning?
Kobe won the MVP in 08. You could argue he wasn't even the MVP of his own team that year. Garnett should have been the league MVP.
Well, he was the MVP of his own team. I mean, what are you going to say? Pau Gasol?
Yeah.
They won an incredible tier when Pau Gasol came to the team, but that's also because Kobe was still on the team. But watch this, okay? I'm going to show you his MVP shares for a minute.
When a team's wins go from 24 to 66 in one season, you're the MVP. He should have been MVP. The reason he didn't get it is because he had that like abdomen strain and missed like 2 weeks. That's really why he didn't get it.
No, I know. We've talked about this before. Hold on 1 second. I actually thought Chris Paul should have got it, to be honest with you. After KG didn't get it.
Keep in mind, he's going to read his win shares on MVPs, but he played with hot garbage most of his career. But go ahead.
He played with less talent for a lot of these years than Hakeem did. What is he in 99, 2000?
Hakeem played with some good guys. He didn't have like
I'm not saying
Hakeem didn't have super teams, but he had good teams.
I'm not saying Hakeem was, and I don't mean this in a rude way to these two guys. But Hakeem wasn't blessed with what Bird or Magic had for his career, but he also wasn't as good a player. But regardless, KG in 99, 2000. What did he finish in MVP award shares?
Second.
They weren't a good team.
Well, Shaq was the MVP that year too. So.
Right. 2000, 2001.
Fifth. Iverson won MVP
2002,
that year.
2003.
Second. I think Duncan won it that year, and they also won the title that year.
Again, if he was on a team where he was winning, he would have been winning MVPs. But he was
04 was the anomaly. They went to the West Finals that year. And I think they had the best record
and he was
in
just
the league.
phenomenal. But 07, 08, he was third. I really thought Chris
joke.
Could argue he was the best player in the league.
2002, Tim Duncan won the MVP.
Yep.
I still think to this day Jason Kidd should have been MVP. You?
But from about 2000, 2006, 7, 8, okay, KG was clearly usually a top 5 player, but definitely top 10. It wasn't the same for Hakeem, man. It really wasn't.
I tell people all the time, too.
It's not like I'm picking on a team, but he wasn't always like a top 5 player.
Those LA 3P teams in the early 2000s, if you replace Kobe Bryant with KG, you win like 5 in a row. 5 or 6 in a row.
Yeah, I had this argument the other day with people. On a basketball thing.
Like, people forget how good
I
he
said,
was.
look, you take, because some fucking idiot was talking about how Kobe Bryant, to compare Kobe and LeBron, they said Kobe Bryant, and I think this kid was just trolling. He was like, Kobe Bryant carried Shaq to 3 rings.
Oh, God.
LeBron couldn't even win 1 ring with Shaq. And people were like, maybe you misinformed. Shaq carried Kobe to 3 rings. By the time LeBron had Shaq was old, and I was like, look at peak/prime Shaq and peak prime LeBron. If they were on the same team at the same time, both at the height of their powers, they win like 8 straight. It'd be absurd.
Those 3 teams, I finally got my brother to come around on it. Shaq was the number 1. He was the number 1.
You finally got your brother to come around on it? What do you mean?
He said for years it was Kobe. I'm like, you're an idiot.
Is he an idiot?
Part of that was because there were no centers in the league, but like he would have been great in any era he played in.
Okay, we went over this too. Put Vince Carter on those teams. 3 rings. Put Paul Pierce on those teams. 3 rings. Put Allen Iverson on those teams. 3 rings. Put fucking Jason Kidd on those teams. 3 rings. Keep going.
Jason Kidd, 3 rings.
Keep going with put Kevin Garnett.
Dirk Nowitzki, 3 rings.
Right, but put Kevin Garnett or fucking Duncan on those teams. 5 Pete. Okay? Because those were the 3 best players in the league, really. Shaq, KG, and friggin' Duncan at the time.
Kobe wasn't even the best player of his era. I think Duncan was. I'm sorry.
Shaq's better than Kobe. Shaq and Duncan are both better than Kobe.
No, but I'm saying I think Duncan was the best player.
Up until KG tore his knee up, KG was a better player.
When Kobe was his prime, I thought Duncan was still the best player in the league.
If you care about dominance that much, KG's a better player than fucking Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
KG's peak. This is another argument I was talking about.
He's going to be ranked higher because the rings are 5-1.
That's how it works. That's part of it. And yeah, that's why I have Kobe as like 10 or 11. Depends. I vacillate him and Hakeem. And I have KG as 15.
That's why I have John Havlicek over Dr. J.
But KG's dominance is ridiculous.
I got John Havlicek over Dr. J. I do.
Problem with Dr. J is it's hard because his peak was actually in the ABA. It's hard to say he would have been as good in the NBA. I mean, he did translate well, but he didn't translate as well as he played in the ABA. But you don't know if that's because he was past his absolute peak or what.
Part of that, too, was they used to have those games between the NBA and the ABA, and the ABA used to win a bunch of them, actually.
I know they did, but that's what ABA fans
It's like the NFL.
I know a guy that thinks Dr. J, a kid that, I haven't talked to him in years, but he argued on forums for years, different forums, that Dr. J was the best player ever. And we're like, no. Oh, Dr. J, look. While the ABA won more of those games, every star that came over from the ABA to the NBA got worse. Except for 2, really.
I don't know if you're going to agree or disagree with. I think you're going to agree with this. Dr. J's lone NBA title team, he wasn't the number 1 on that team.
No, Moses was. Everyone knows that. That's why Moses is ahead. That's why Moses is standing in the doorway of the GOAT room. He's the bouncer. He's right behind Hakeem and Kobe, who are just in the doorway going, I'm so glad Moses is protecting this.
I don't think Kobe's in the GOAT room.
Oh, yeah, he is. He's got 5 rings.
I don't care.
2 things. Kobe was a very good player for a very, very, very long time. He has an MVP.
He's the Cal Ripken of basketball. Is Cal Ripken the best player ever?
No, he's the Derek Jeter of basketball.
I'm an Oriole fan.
The Derek Jeter of basketball. Where people... Kobe and Derek Jeter are worse than Cal Ripken. Okay?
Cal Ripken's one of the most overrated players ever.
Kobe and Jeter are the 2 most overrated players in any sport ever.
They
might as well just be the same guy.
Oh,
look, they were very good for a very, very, very long time. Now all these Lakers and Yankees fans are going to preach to you about how they're the greatest Laker and Yankee, respectively, ever, and how they're just incredible. And they're just awesome. They're like the best, the best.
I can name like 3 Lakers better than
And Kobe. I can name like 75 Yankees better than Jeter. But that's not the point.
Better Laker, Magic or Kobe?
Magic. But Magic says... But Lakers fans will tell you, but Magic Johnson said Kobe is the best Laker. Yeah, because people say that shit all the time. Right.
Better Laker, Kareem or Kobe?
Kareem. Kareem's possibly the best Laker out of all of them.
Better Laker.
That's not picking on Magic. It's
better Laker, West or Kobe?
That one's close.
I'm taking Jerry West, man.
But it's close.
I'm taking Jerry West.
Better Laker, Shaq or Kobe?
Shaq.
No. Shaq was the guy in those. I mean, we could pull up the composite box scores. We could pull up the things where I'm fighting with people all the time in the forums. Telling you, there's a freaking thing I'm kidding you. There's a thread right now about Kobe and LeBron, and someone's saying Kobe, and I'm one of those people. I'm like, yeah, you're just ridiculous. And then there's people arguing with me. I'm like, first of all, you're like 20 teen. Like, I have no idea how old you are. Okay, you're very little. You didn't even see Kobe play back then. Like, you don't remember those finals. If you were born, you were barely born.
Oh,
Okay?
I didn't even tell you. About a month ago, I yelled at this kid who this guy I work with. His son came in because he like had to watch him for the day. He's like 13. He was telling me like, oh,
I'm sorry. What does that say?
Do you want me to read it?
Sure. Read what that says.
It's
The
a meme. It said Kobe wasn't even in his prime and was able to carry Shaq to 3 straight championships, which is a farce. While LeBron in his prime couldn't even make it to the final with Shaq. Wow, Leduki is not as good as we thought.
Okay. And there's a giant thread.
Shaq was also done at that point.
Right. There's a giant thread of me arguing with a bunch of people arguing that this person's crazy. Seriously. It's ridiculous.
Anyway, this guy I work with, his 13-year-old kid said LeBron's the best basketball player of all time. I just laughed at him. He goes, yes, he's better than like any forward ever. I go, all right. Clearly, you never saw Jordan play. You're like 13. You never saw Michael Jordan play.
Jordan's not a forward.
You never. Well, no, he said player.
Oh, I thought you
He
said
said forward and then said player.
Oh, okay.
I go, I got news for you. He's not as good as Michael Jordan. You didn't see Jordan play. Like, I saw Jordan play. I saw Bird play. I saw Magic play. Like, I saw, like, all these guys play. LeBron's not better than those three. And if you want to go...
LeBron's better than Magic.
No, he's not. If you
oh, come on. Dude, LeBron's
if you really, if you really want to go far back, he ain't better than Bill Russell. He ain't better than Kareem.
No.
He ain't better than Wilt Chamberlain. He's not. I'm sorry. It's not. These people who compare LeBron to Jordan, Magic, and Bird, I fucking laugh at them. Like, you're fucking ridiculous. You don't know basketball.
No, they don't.
But I do, and yeah, I take Magic over LeBron. I do. I'm sorry.
Put Magic with Kareem. Put Magic with Kareem. Put
Yeah,
LeBron with Kareem his whole career. How many rings do they have? Come on, Scotty.
Kareem actually took a shot at LeBron in recent years, saying that Magic made us all better. I don't think LeBron would have made us better. And it's true.
Kareem made Magic better. Let's not say he didn't. Look, as we talk about... We talk about this all the time.
80 to 85... Kareem, 80 to 85, Kareem was a guy. 86 was the transition year. 87 on it was Magic.
Wilt Chamberlain should have had more rings, but people will constantly bemoan and bitch, Wilt Chamberlain fans, about how he was stuck in a crappy situation.
No, he wasn't.
Okay? KG was severely stuck in a crappy situation for most of his career.
Wilt played with much better guys than Garnett did.
KG, out of all the top
played with the worst
40
guys.
players,
Played with the worst guys.
Top 40 players of all time, probably top even more. But say let's top 40 players of all time. KG had the worst circumstances for the duration of his career, specifically peak and prime, okay?
Pete Maravich played with some shit teams. He had like Lou Hudson. That was about it.
I'm telling you, KG's were worse. Those Minnesota teams were, for the most part, dreadful. Okay?
No, you
then
can go
look
basketball
at Magic
and look at the rosters. They're gassy.
Yeah, then you look at Magic's team.
He played with like Isaiah Ryder.
Magic is the exact opposite of KG.
Played with the best guys.
He won the top 40 lottery. Like, oh my God, look at these teams. You know what I mean? Like, he got, like, just ridiculous. Like, there's a reason why.
Bird played with great players, but
Bird was also always the number one.
No, but Bird played with great players, but Magic played with better players.
That's my point. And Bird had a great circumstance. Bird came into a team that ended up having a lot of talent, but Bird was always the number one. Right?
Yeah, probably.
Look, okay.
In 80, he was probably still the best player, even as a rookie.
He was the best player. Came in the league, he was the best player on the team. Magic had the best player on his team, and it wasn't him. It was Kareem, okay? There's a reason why the man has 14 billion MVPs and 6 rings. He has rings. People always do this. How many rings Parcells win without Belichick?
I'm not going there.
All right, that's not... By the way, 2 Bills, great. I watched it the other day. I think I texted you. I already told you. I really liked it. I'd watched part of it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
I got news for you.
I still disagree with part of it.
If you give Parcells Brady for 18 years, he wins 5 rings.
Look, that's not what I'm saying.
No,
I'm just giving you the argument.
False. True or false?
Dude, you give me Brady and win 5 rings. But
right.
my argument was, people say, how many rings Parcells have without Belichick? How many rings Magic have without Kareem? Oh, okay. Because how many rings does Kareem have without Magic? Yeah, he does have one, but he has one, right?
One.
This is not my point, Scotty. You get my point.
This is another thing. Look at, I have Wilt and Kareem like right neck and neck all time. You got Kareem higher than him. That's fine. I'm not gonna like. The thing is, I have Kareem 4th all time. You're like, that's way too low. But
top scorer of all time, most MVPs of all time, 6 rings, arguably the best two-way player, offense and defense. Top 10 in both, and he's probably the only player you can say is top 10 offensive and defensive player.
You could make a case for Jordan.
I don't think Jordan's top 10 on defense. Jordan was incredible at defense, especially early in his career. Later in his career, he just had Pippen guard the hard. Jordan would spot guard hard people, but
not in big games. Jordan always took the #1 scorer in big games.
Not always.
Always.
Dude, Pippen was a mission. There were times in Jordan's career where he was the 3rd best defensive player on his team.
I'll give you Rodman.
Rodman and Pippen. Jordan was like, all right, who's Luke Longley covering? Nah, Luke, you get this guy. I'll get that bum center. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude.
That's disrespectful.
It's not disrespectful.
What do people always kill Wilt about? Only won 2 rings.
He should have won more rings.
He only won 2 rings, right?
Right.
Go back to 1979. Now, Kareem was the best player in the 70s. No question. No debate. No debate. He won like 6 MVPs.
5.
5 in the 70s.
In a decade where 10 MVPs were all won by centers, there was 6 different centers that won them. 5 guys won 1,
and Kareem
won the other 5. Okay, so think about that. That would be like if Michael Jordan played in the GOAT era of shooting guards, and there were 5 other MVP shooting guards, and then Michael Jordan won 5 in that decade. Come on.
So 69 to 79.
Come on.
How many rings did Kareem have?
1.
So people were killing Wilt for winning 2, when in the same time, Kareem only had 1.
Kareem's situation was good, though.
He had loaded Milwaukee teams.
No. He had a couple loaded. He had a couple loaded Milwaukee teams. He had one that should have won that didn't win. Didn't someone get injured on that team? And then he had the one that won.
The year they lost to the Celtics?
I don't remember.
Lucius Allen was hurt in 74. But the Celtics went to Milwaukee and blew him out in the 70s.
One of those teams he was on, their margin, their SRS and margin of victory and everything was insane, and they really should have won that.
Realistically, Wilt should have 4 rings. He has 2, but he should have 4. Because
right.
I could make a case for a bunch of years where he shouldn't have won.
I agree with you, but I'm saying he should have more.
Look at really quick.
You know how we always go, like, oh, this guy should have X amount of rings, and I always give like a half ring because like, maybe they could have won that one but shouldn't have won it. Like, it's getting to the point now where
Bird should have won in '85. That's the only knock on him.
Dude, I always tell you, Bird should have probably
4. He should have 4.
3.5 to 4.5.
No, he should have 4.
Should be more than the rings.
He should have 4. Should have won in '85.
I'm not picking on Larry.
Should have won in '85. The other 3 times when they had the best team in the league, they won. So, and actually, you can make
again. We've been over this. Oh, they quit on him. I don't care that they quit on him, Scotty.
You could actually
that doesn't look good for Bird. What kind of player is Bird if the team quits on the coach?
No, Larry was the only one who didn't quit. He loved fish.
You got my point, though. I think you get my point.
Yeah, but it's one guy against like the other 12. What's he gonna do?
Get him to keep playing?
They wanted Fitch gone. They were sick of him. McHale and Maxwell admitted it. Like, we wanted him out of there.
We wanted him out of there.
Get it out of here.
Today.
All right, I'm just writing this down. Because I think Wilt gets a bad rap.
We've been over this, dude. A bajillion times.
I'm going to go through it really quickly. I'm just going to run through it real quick. His first year in the league was 59-60. His last year was 72-73. I just need your attention whenever you get a second.
You got my attention.
No, you're looking up shit. You're looking up stats.
I'm not looking up shit. I will Google shit if you want and just either get you pictures or...
1960, his rookie year.
1960, his rookie year.
Look at it. Celtics were the best team in the league. 61. Celtics were the best team in the league. 62. Celtics were the best team in the league. 63.
Starting here and on, you could argue that Wilt should have won more championships.
63, the Celtics were loaded. They were the best team. 64, they lost to the Celtics in 5 in the finals.
But were they not the best team? Could they have been the best team, but Wilt wasn't good enough?
No, the 64 Celtics were a machine.
Okay.
Everyone talks about the 65 Celtics. I talked to my dad about this. I think the 61 and 64 teams were Russell's best teams. Russell himself said the best team that I played on was the 64 team.
I think the 64 team was
63, 64. The first year without Kuzi, that was their best team. That was easily the best defensive team if you go by the numbers. 65, you could argue, I'm not saying that it is, you could argue that 65 was the best Celtics team. That was the year Havlicek stole the ball. Keep in mind, out in the West, Elgin Baylor ripped his knee up. So that was the NBA championship. If Philly got by the Celtics, they were winning the title. So I'm going to give a slight edge to 65 Celtics. Now, this is what, listen, this is where...
We have a slight edge to this team because they won the championship.
Listen, this is where it starts to turn. Right here. Look at.
I'm listening.
Look what I'm going to do here.
Hold on, Scotty. I'm listening.
I just need your attention for a second. 66. This is when it started to even out. You could argue that they were equal talent in 66. The Celtics were getting older and Philly was on the rise. Celtics still beat them in 5 in the East Finals. 67, Wilt had the best team. He won. 68, Wilt had the best team. They lost to the Celtics in 7 games in the East Finals. They probably would have beaten LA in the finals. Here's the thing no one ever talks about. Billy Cunningham didn't play that series. Kind of a big deal. The best 6-man in basketball. Don't roll your eyes at me. This is facts. I'm sorry. This is facts. 68, I throw out. You got to.
You got to?
He should have won it, but he didn't. But an injury was a big part of it. 69, huge strike in his legacy. That was a joke. Never should have lost that series. Ever. Just never. Ever.
Ever.
No, just ever. It was a disgrace. There's no way they should have lost that series. They were up 2-0, 3-2. They had the 7th game at home, and they lost. And Wilt was hurt in that game and didn't come back in. That was the infamous balloons and marching band game. That's when Russell called him a faker after the game. 1970 was the Willis Reed game. Probably should have won that one. He was like intimidated by Willis Reed. He made like 2 jump shots. He was like, oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. Not an injured Willis.
Look at 71, Milwaukee was the best team. 72, LA was the best team, they won. 73, they went to the finals and lost in 5. I mean, that Knicks team was pretty good. They would have lost to the Celtics in 73 if Havlicek didn't get hurt. Wilt should have at least 3 or 4 rings. But he's not like the biggest underachiever ever in the history of sports.
How many rings should LeBron have?
Should LeBron have?
3. How many does he have? You could argue 4 if you want to say the Dallas one, but I don't think he should be Golden State, so it evens out.
He should have beaten Dallas.
Okay, but he should have lost to Golden State every year. They're better fucking teams.
You could argue, I think they were favored against San Antonio in 14, weren't they?
I don't remember,
I believe
but
they were.
I'm telling you right now, those San Antonio teams were just as loaded as those K teams.
That team just picked them apart with their passing. And teams still don't pass the ball.
I was telling you guys back then, Kawhi was just incredible. From the first finals.
You always say that.
I did, though.
Incredible.
No, Kawhi and freaking Harden are like 2 of my guys. I'm like, those guys are going to be incredible when they were like pups.
Listen, I want to talk about Fultz. We're finally circling back to Fultz.
Oh, are we?
I have never seen a kid just go to bed.
Really quick, can we just say it's too early to be doing this?
I'm just talking about right now, as of right now.
Okay, as of right now.
You have to admit that this situation is very, very strange.
I think his shoulder's fucked up. Something's wrong. I don't know.
See, I don't think his shoulder's fucked up at all.
So his head's fucked up.
He was cleared in December. It's been coming out that...
He was cleared and then he just forgets how to shoot? Come on, Scotty.
That's like saying...
He could shoot pre-draft.
All right, look it.
He could shoot pre-draft. I didn't know how to shoot before the draft. Don't give me that.
Listen.
Danny Ainge knew. Danny Ainge just like Tatum.
Listen. I haven't ridden a bike since I was like 15 or 16. It's been a while, but I could get on a bike right now and ride a bike.
Right.
How do you play basketball your whole life? How do you wake up one day you can't shoot anymore?
Shoulder.
No, he's not injured anymore.
I'm gonna cut off your leg and I want to see how you ride a bike.
He's still injured and he's not injured anymore.
How do we know?
He's not injured anymore. He still can't shoot. How's that possible? Have you seen him shoot?
What do you
He
want me to
shoots
do?
like this. He shoots from his chest. It's awful. He's worse than Lonzo now.
No, he's not. Don't.
Yes.
Don't. By the way, the Lonzo Laker thing's hilarious.
Oh, I'm loving it. It's awesome.
I know you are. And you see what LeVar said?
No, the best is...
When he was like, all 3 of my sons are going to play here. Lonzo's going to leave. They're like, first of all, I'm like reading stuff and it's like, Lonzo's not even going to be a free agent then. Like, he has to wait more years than that. Like, and you better take all my boys. Like, your middle boy sucks.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in Magic Johnson's office right now. Like, oh my god, what the fuck did we do?
Magic's like, how many bitches can I sleep with? Because I don't have AIDS.
So,
I'm HIV negative. I am Magic. Get it? It's like, come on.
I think he has to wrap it before he taps it. Still. Just to be on
He's
the
probably like, no. Look, the test says I'm negative.
Probably. I probably have more HIV in my blood than he does.
Hey, what can you do?
Look, it's too early to call him a bust. It's only his rookie year.
Right.
But this,
you know how I
I'm
feel
not,
about these
no,
things.
dude,
Give
I'm
him
not.
some
I'm
years.
not calling him a bust.
Let him
but
play out.
this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And
Well, no, the weirdest thing I ever saw was Peyton Manning in 2013.
what?
I mean, the offense was incredible, and I'm not picking on Peyton for this. I mean, I in some ways it gives him more credit. Tom fucking Glavin, Greg Maddux, excuse me, to the next level. I mean, the guy couldn't throw, and he just lofted the ball up there, and it would float like a fucking saucer, and then come down, and the guy would score a touchdown.
Well, like 30 of his touchdowns from the 1 yard line.
No, not that many.
A lot of them.
A lot of them were short, but I mean, every quarterback gets short. You know, Brady doesn't get short touchdowns anymore. That's the thing.
Because they run the ball.
Right. People need to stop looking at just touchdowns, and they need to look at how many touchdowns a team scores total, not a quarterback touchdowns, how many points per drive a team has, and how many points per game an offense scores. That's what the real proof in a quarterback is, especially running game dependent.
Look, I feel bad for the kid, like genuinely bad, and I hope he figures it out. But
Peyton Manning?
no, Markel Fulton.
I feel bad for the kid. I'm like, he's retired, Scotty.
This
Still
is
can't throw.
it's the
His
weird.
neck's all fucked up. He had surgeries and shit.
It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like, you shouldn't just forget how to shoot a basketball. All right, for those who watched the Celtics get thrashed on Sunday, my cousin Jillian, oh, if you're listening, Jill, thank you, offered me a ticket to the game. I didn't go because I knew they were going to get blown out because they'd been playing like shit. But for those who checked out Pierce's jersey retirement, it was very well done. It wasn't Larry Bird night, but it was still pretty good. I enjoyed it. He deserved it. I'm probably the biggest Celtic fan that O'Keefe's ever met.
No, I'm the biggest Celtics fan, man.
I mean, you've met my dad, so but like I'm in the top five.
There's a lot.
I'm in the top five
Like
Celtics.
Jason's a very big Celtics. My cousin Tom's a huge Celtics fan.
Am I in the
There's a
top?
lot.
I'm in the top five though, right?
Dude, you're in my top 5 fucking sports fan Hall of Fame.
Okay, thank you. So this is a Celtic fan saying this. They got too many fucking retired numbers. Way
Yeah,
too
we
many.
know this. We know.
Way too many.
We know.
Now-
We know.
We can talk about where Pierce ranks in the all-time greats. There are a lot of guys that debatable
Celtics
that are debatable.
Top 5-ish. 5
The
or 6.
Celtics,
Yeah, 5 or 6.
I got them 7 or 8.
5 or 6. It's too low. It's too low. You're like. You're like Sam Jones, like everybody. Everybody.
I think the highest you can have him is 7. I can name 6 guys that should be ahead of him. You want me to name them?
Parrish should not be under him.
No, Russell,
Russell Bird, Havlicek. Guarantees. Boom. There you go.
Kuzi,
No. Who's
6 rings and an MVP. I don't
Okay,
care.
dude, you played with Russell.
Player
Pretty
of
sure
the
if
50s.
Paul Pierce played
Player
with
of the
Russell.
50s. Dave Cowens won an MVP, won 2 rings. Hall of Fame. Rookie of the Year.
I'm not putting Kuzi there. I'm sorry.
And Kevin McHale.
You can give me
Those 6 are better.
You can argue McHale, and you can argue.
No, McHale was better.
Cowens,
There's
okay?
no argument. McHale was
No,
better.
you can argue.
No, McHale was better. He was. Best low post scorer ever.
Him and Hakeem.
Yeah, that's a push. That goes to show what a dog Howard is. He had Hakeem and McHale working with him in those low post moves. He never got better.
He can dunk.
This guy sucks.
I mean, he's the most mentally weak athlete ever. You want to pick on LeBron? Come on.
Well, LeBron actually has talent.
No, Dwight has a ton of talent. Dwight Howard
He's
has a ton of
he's
talent.
a very good defender and rebounder, but that's all he can do.
Ton of talent.
He has
Scotty.
no offensive skill.
Ton of talent.
No offensive skill.
Come on. There's no way that guy shouldn't have won at least one championship.
Guy pissed away his career.
He's gonna be, 5-time rebounding champion.
I just said he was a good rebounder and defender. I
I know.
gave him credit for
I'm
something.
just telling you.
Offensively, I don't think he would score on Hakeem Olajuwon once
How many points per game do you think he scores right now?
this season
This
or his
season.
career.
This season.
I don't know, 15 a game.
15.8, almost 16. How many he scored for his career a game?
17 or 18.
17.4. It's pretty good.
He wouldn't score on Akeem Olajuwon.
17.4, 12.7. That's a pretty good player, dude. There was those years in the middle where 20 points per game, 20 points per game, 22, 20 points per game. Well, almost 23, 22.9, really. I mean, let's be real. He's still a very good player.
So, getting back to the retired...
He's the Kobe of centers.
Kobe won titles. I mean, come on.
Look, if Dwight had played with LeBron, he'd have titles. That's what Kobe played with, the version of LeBron. Okay. We're going to take Bird and Magic out of it. Because even though I watched them play, their true best years, I was probably too young to remember really how great they were.
Oh, I saw Bird and Magic at the end.
I saw him earlier than you even, but still. I'm saying
See,
when
you probably remember the late 80s. I go back to 91.
Now let's talk about
ago.
when you're old enough to actually realize how great something is. And you're watching it in real time, not just, we're not talking like, oh yeah, look how good Kareem was, because we don't watch Kareem.
Then Jordan. I remember vividly how good he was.
The three best players I've ever seen play in the history of me watching basketball, when I was old enough to realize how great players actually were. So not including Larry and Magic.
Jordan, Shaq.
Jordan, LeBron, and Shaq. In that order. Okay? Jordan 1, LeBron 2, Shaq. We'll say it starts in 1990, okay? Because that's when I was like 8 years old and I was beyond the age of reason and I could start to figure stuff out and watch things for myself. Jordan, LeBron, Shaq. Guess what? There's a big gap after that. Big gap. Big gap. It's like an ocean. Like Pacific. Okay? Jordan, LeBron, Shaq. Kobe played with Shaq when Shaq was that guy. Not only was Shaq that guy when Kobe played with Shaq, the vast majority of Shaq's best part of his career that makes him that third guy was when they were winning those titles. And Kobe was a pup. So, yeah, Kobe has all these titles. Yeah, you know what? If Dwight Howard played with Shaq, he has those titles too.
Oh, Dwight Howard, he plays with Shaq. He has like 9 titles.
Yeah. If Dwight Howard played with LeBron, he has those titles. Guess what? Dwight Howard plays with Jordan, he has titles. So let's not just like analyze these players bereft of circumstance. Like you can't take everything out of it.
Real quick on the Celtic retired numbers, and then we'll move on.
There's too many.
There are too many. So I'm taking number 1 is retired in honor of Walter Brown, as it should. Number 2 is retired for Red, as it should. I'm taking them out of it. They probably shouldn't have done numbers. They probably
just put their names.
That's what. They probably should have just used the names. It's getting to the point where the Celtics need like a Ring of Honor, like a football team.
They're not going to have friggin' numbers left.
They have no numbers left.
I'm sorry, you can't have that number.
Look,
if it's not one of the retired ones, already taken by the active roster.
You can agree or disagree on these. I came up with 10 no-doubters. Okay? 10 no-doubters. Russell.
Yeah, look. Russell Cousy.
Heinsohn. Havlicek. Pierce. Cowens. Sam Jones. Bird. McHale. Parrish.
You have to take 2 of those guys off.
You're going to say Sam Jones and Parrish?
Yes. No, I'm going to say if you have to take 2 of them off.
Okay, should they be retired? I think that both of them should be retired.
Those are borderline. Those are the borderline guys you can say, all right,
I think everyone else that I did name is borderline.
No, those 2 guys are borderline, in my opinion.
Like
if you're really taking things serious and who you should...
Like Dennis Johnson's the best defensive guard of his era, a Hall of Famer. He won 2 titles. I'm not sure his number should be retired. He's only here 7 years.
How many rings does this franchise have?
17.
Is this the greatest franchise in basketball history?
Yes. Should
you retire every Mo, Larry, and Curly? And I'm not picking on Dennis Johnson.
I'm not either, but the one that really gets me, like...
Because look, we're going to have to retire KG's number now, correct?
Look at it. I love Cedric Maxwell. His number should be retired.
That's where I'm going with this. When I talk about who's going to make the Basketball Hall of Fame, what do I always tell you?
You tell me a lot of things.
No. But I always...
wings. Vince Carter's getting
wings. Vince Carter's getting in the... And I always tell you, Vince Carter's getting in the Hall of Fame. Player X is getting in the Hall of Fame because the threshold to get in the Basketball Hall of Fame is already so low, okay?
Why did it take Dennis Johnson to get in?
It's already so long. I don't know. Look, I'm not getting into the politics of it. I'm not getting into everything. I'm not telling you it's always fair and easy peasy for everyone. I'm just saying The Basketball Hall of Fame is not hard to get into compared to some of the other Hall of Fames, okay?
It's the easiest one.
Right, it is the easiest. The hardest is football.
Baseball's hardest.
Football's hardest. Dude, someone like Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt may never get in.
Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens still aren't in.
That's because of steroids, though.
I don't care.
People aren't like, Ty Law cheated, so we're not letting him in the Hall of Fame. There's like a fucking backlog. Dude, there's a huge backlog in football. First of all...
Law's going to get in. Next few years, he's getting in.
It's harder to get in football than anything.
Law the next...
It's football.
Law the next few years will get in.
He should get in.
He will get in.
People thought he would have gotten
He'll
in this
get in.
year, based
He'll
on the
get in.
finalists. And how the way the vote was going. People actually thought T.O. was not going to get in again.
No, apparently it was close. A lot of guys voted for Law.
Right, I just told you. People thought Law was getting in this year.
He's going to get in.
Based on the positions that were left.
He could get in as
and
early
based
as
on
next
the
year.
voting. Because you have to pass as one of the top, and then you have to pass the, 75% threshold after the vote of who's the top players voted in, then they also have to go back and re-vote to see if you pass
right,
the
and
X
Law
amount.
was in the 60s. He's going to get in the next couple of years.
Well, he didn't get in because Terrell Owens got in. There's only so many you can get in.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying that Law's right on the doorstep. He's going to get in.
Right, but I'm telling you because of...
He doesn't fucking chop at Sears, but he's going to get in.
He doesn't fucking chop at Sears. You know who I am? I'm Ty Law. The girl's like, I have no idea who you are, sir. I just know you owe money on your shares bill. Can you pay today? True story, by the way.
I love that.
I don't care what anyone says. True story. I have witnesses.
Is that my ecstasy?
Yeah.
Think that's my ecstasy?
That's my grandfather's ecstasy. He's the one that chops at Sears. So, telling you, football's the hardest. It's the hardest. Baseball's the hardest after football, and it's a lot about numbers and making sure that the writers like you. Hockey, next. Basketball's easy. It's easy. I'm not picking on basketball. There are guys in the Basketball Hall of Fame that you're like, really? But because of that, guys like Chris Webber, Vince Carter, those guys either should or are definitely on the borderline fence to probably getting in. Right? All right. So Dennis Johnson should have gone in. When you lower the standards for something, it means more people are getting in. They've already lowered the standards so much on the retired numbers. KG's number has to be retired. Shoot, you might have to retire Rondo's number.
See, I don't think KG should be up there.
Maxwell is.
I know.
Parrish is.
It's a slip.
Is KG not as good?
It's a slippery slope.
Okay, first of all, different. But
also,
who was better for the...
Parrish was a damn good player. He's a Hall of Famer. You always talk like him he's a scrub.
No. It's who we're comparing him to. Okay? Parrish is not Kevin Garnett. It is not close.
I didn't say that.
Right.
Parrish was also here like 14 years.
But KG's 6 seasons match Parrish's 4.
Really? Because Parrish won 3 rings. Garnett won once.
Okay. We're going to go back to the circumstances thing. Okay? Take a time machine. Put them in their peaks. Larry Bird and KG go back together and play in the NBA. Let's say in the watered-down 90s. How many fucking rings do they have,
every
Scotty?
year?
Right. 10 in a row. Oh, my God. 10 Pete. Okay? That's you gotta take the circumstances into it. First of all, how many times should the Celtics have won with KG?
Hold on. I'm gonna
How many times should the Celtics have won with KG?
At least twice.
Probably 3.
Oh wait, well, they should have 3-peated if they're healthy.
That's what we're gonna go with health.
We'll go
presumed health.
3.
Okay?
3.
Who was better at their peak with the Celtics? KG or Parrish?
Garnett.
Okay.
It was 1
Who
year.
meant more to
Garnett.
change the organization, truly? KG or Parrish? Okay. The man has to be in Parrish.
The Celtics were on the verge of folding into oblivion before Garnett got here.
That's my point.
No one cared. I cared. That was about it.
I cared. I was their one fan. I was like firedognow.com. By the way, he outcoached Brad the other night. Not that neither one of them did much. They both kind of sat there and watched the game. I was like, are you guys watching and coaching? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Watcher Brad. And then the funny thing was Doc was watching Brad going, oh, I love Watcher Brad. Oh, yeah. Watcher Brad.
No, but I'm saying this as a Celtic fan. It's embarrassing how many numbers they got retired.
Okay, KG has to be retired.
Listen.
Based on who's retired, you can argue Rondo should be retired.
Like...
Does Rondo have a ring?
Like
Is Rondo a multiple-time All-Star?
Yeah. Like JoJo, rest RIP, he probably shouldn't be retired.
I have a ball of his.
That's great.
Signed ball.
I get signed Celtic shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't be retired, right?
Dude, no.
All right?
We just went over it.
Satch, love you, Satch, mean it. You probably shouldn't be retired.
There's 8 that should be retired, and Parrish and Sam Jones are borderline.
Jim Loskatoff?
No.
No. Don Nelson? No. Actually, you could make a small case. He's on the bubble. You can make a case for Sharman. Because he and Kuzi were the best backcourt of the 50s. And he made multiple All-Star teams. You could make and he won 4 titles. You can make a case for Sharman. Frank Ramsey, first 6-man in history, Hall of Famer, great player. Probably not. Casey Jones, one of the best defensive guards of his era. Probably not. Reggie Lewis, who I loved. Probably not.
Definitely not. And I'm not even being rude here. There are 8 guys on this list that you wrote originally that should slam dunk be retired. Sam Jones and Parrish are borderline, but okay, whatever. Everyone else probably should be a no, but you let in everybody. The bar's already set so low. Walter McCarty should be retired at this point. I love Walter. I love Walter. Okay? I mean, Isaiah Thomas wants his tribute video. Maybe we'll retire his number 2. Kyrie's going to get retired.
Look at the big 3 and the 3 best players in their history. Russell, Bird,
Havlicek. It's not even close.
All
They're
right.
all top 20 players of all time.
Kuzi, best
Top 3 player of all time. Top 10 player of all time. Top 20 player of all time.
Mm-hmm. Kuzi, best point guard of his era, won an MVP. He and Oscar are the only 2 guards in like the MVP for the first 40 years that won an MVP.
He's got to be.
Heinsohn was one of the best forwards in the league when he played. Made multiple
One Rookie of the Year.
1 Rookie of the Year and won 2 more as a coach. He's in.
No, I agree.
It's like that Penny Hardaway Super Bowl commercial. In.
I agree. I never did. I ever say anything about Heinsohn being on there?
No, I'm just explaining it to people. I know you didn't. Pierce, probably the best scorer they ever had. He's in.
I'd still say Bird's probably. It's close. Best Pierce. I don't know. It depends how you want to look at it. But he's up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Close to the all-time franchise leader in points. Not up there. Behind Havlicek.
Cowan's Hall of Famer, MVP, Rookie of the Year, the whole
couple
shebang.
championships.
He's
boom.
in. Boom, you're in.
Sam Jones again. He's one of the guys on there that I'd say would be borderline. If you wanted to make a hotter criteria.
McHale, he's in.
McHale's the second best behind Bird in that.
McHale.
Okay, and then Parrish is the third wheel. He the third wheel. The gap between McHale and Bird might be smaller than the gap between McHale and Parrish. Okay? And I'm not picking on Parrish. I'm being realistic. The guy was like the 5th or 6th best center for like a decade.
When he played?
I mean, yeah. And I mean like 5th or 6th best center. You have to look at the centers. It's like Moses Malone, Kareem, Robert Parrish. Oh yeah, Rob Parrish, so good.
No. For when Parrish played, Kareem's the best center. Obviously.
Who's better, Hakeem or Parrish back then?
In like 86?
In the 80s, the late 80s.
Oh, Bellagio.
Or mid to late 80s. Let's be realistic.
Early 80s, Kareem and Moses were obviously better.
I'm not trying to be an asshole here. Hold on. You think I hate Parrish because I'm like realistic about it. How many All-Star teams Parrish make?
9.
How many All-NBA teams?
2.
What?
Second team and third team.
And I'll say those should even be debatable. I'm not picking on Parrish. The guy was generally somewhere between the 4th, 5th, 6th best center in the league for his career. Very good player. Made a lot of All-Stars. Was on a franchise that won 3 titles with him on it. Great, grand, and wonderful.
Should be a Hall of Famer?
Third, yes. Oh, yeah, easily a Hall of Famer. Third wheel on championship dynasty, okay? A mini dynasty, whatever you want to call it, okay? 50th best player, okay, at the time, maybe. Not anymore. He's not top 50 anymore. You'd have to bump him out of there. He's probably like top 75 now, okay? I'm being realistic. Not a guy that you're like, wow, he's just franchise altering. Let's retire his number. Okay? Seriously. I'm being realistic here. Sam Jones, probably slightly better than Parrish. Close. Double power, close. Okay? All these other guys, different. McHale's better than Parrish by a lot. It was a lot. By the end, it was even more. I mean, he got better and better, and Parrish was just kind of like, I'm just going to sit here and play.
I can't believe you think Pierce is a better Celtic than Bob Cousy was.
You realize the duration that Pierce did it for, right? Pierce also, look,
Stefano and Tom would be very upset at you.
Look, that's great, grand, wonderful. Cousy won an MVP.
Stefano would say, Bob Cousy missed basketball.
Cousy won an MVP.
Whenever I say something about Cousy, Dad's always like, he's Mr. Basketball. You do it, he's the man.
Play with Bill Russell, dude. I'm not trying to minimize players. You play with Bill Russell, it's a little different.
He didn't win until Russell got there.
It's a little different.
Yep.
Well, like we say about all these guys. Well, how many rings did Parcells have without Belichick? Oh, 0. How many rings do all these guys have without Bill? They don't get anything without William Felton Russell. Not that they wouldn't have won. I don't know.
Uncle Tom made a case that if Cousy had played this era, he still would have been good. He would have been like a mini Steve Nash. Do you agree with that?
Well, this is the thing, and I'm not just saying it because they're white. You could argue that Cousy could be like a Nash or a Stockton, but we don't know. Could have been a Jason Kidd type. We don't know. Again, not just because he's light-skinned, half white.
I think Jason, he's completely different players than Kidd. I think
They're all slightly different.
I don't even think Stockton's a good comp. I think Nash was a good comp.
I think Cousy was probably a little bit better offensively.
Stockton's a much better defender than Cousy was.
Yeah, I know.
Not even trying to pick on Cousy.
No, but Nash was a much...
Cousy
was a better defender than Nash.
Huh?
Nash was like IT defensive level. Yeah, dude.
Like a little better.
Okay, because he was like 3 inches taller, so he was just like, look, my arms go up higher. Like, that's it. That's the only thing that was better.
Cousy was probably a better defender than Nash.
Yeah, he was. I just told you that. It wasn't probably.
Kidd was, of the guys we're just talking about, Kidd's easily the best defender on ball. I think.
I think Stockton's better than Kidd.
I think Kidd is.
Dude.
Kidd was an excellent defender.
You're missing. John Stockton's sneaky good defender.
Very good defender.
Sneaky good.
I think Jason Kidd was a better defensive player.
Sneaky good. Hold on a minute.
JT's dad. Inside joke. 5-time all-defensive second team. All right, so he made 8 all-defensive teams.
And I would argue...
How many did Kidd make? Look it up.
No, he made 3. 5 all-defensive teams. Those are...
All NBA, excuse me.
Okay.
Okay.
I would argue he should have been first team some of those years, and he probably would have more if he wasn't typecast because he's white. And I'm being honest with you. Because he was actually incredible at steals. I'm not saying he was the best defender ever. That's not what I'm saying.
He wasn't Gary Payton.
I didn't say that. Different types of players, by the way.
Jason Kidd's the best pure point guard I ever saw.
I don't know. I think I'd argue the best pure point guard, not including anything else, nothing else, just passing and distributing the ball, probably Nash and then Rondo. Just distributing the ball. I didn't say player.
The whole Kidd versus Nash thing, I was always a Kidd guy.
There's a lot of them. I know, but I'm saying Stockton's way underrated. He should have more than he does, and he's really, really not looked at as he should be.
Jason Kidd was a savant. He was unbelievable. You watch too. He won't get in on the first ballot.
Yes, he will.
For the Hall of Fame, he won't. They'll punish him because of the white beating stuff.
He'll get in right away. Jason Kidd's first.
Because of the white beating stuff, it's going to take him like 2 tries. I guarantee.
He's going to get in. Dude,
no,
he's going to get in right away.
Of course he's going to get in.
He's going to get in right away.
He should, but I don't think he is.
Holding the NBA records for the most career assists and steals by considerable margins. He's
a great player.
Stockton's severely underrated.
He's a great player. He is. I'm just saying.
Number 1, because they played in fucking Utah. Number 2, because they never won a ring.
I take Jason Kidd. I'm sorry.
Stockton's a better player for his career.
Than Jason Kidd?
Yes.
Agree to disagree. I take Jason Kidd.
I'm not even a huge John Stockton guy. You also wouldn't take...
Jason Kidd's a prick. He's one of the worst human beings ever, but he's a tremendous player.
Oh, I'm not saying Stockton's a prick. I'm saying
no,
I'm not a huge
Stockton's
fan.
a good guy.
Right, Stockton's probably a great guy. He's been a huge Stockton fan. Guy's pretty good, man. You guys can't tell, but we're looking at statistics right now.
I think I still take Jason. I think he's the best all-around point guard I ever saw play. I saw Magic play, but I was really, really young. I saw Jason Kidd in his prime.
By the way, if we're just going pure statistical, I know you're going to fucking kill me for this because you always try to yell at me for these things. You could definitely argue Chris Paul is just absolutely ridiculous.
If you go by the number, sure. I don't think...
Dude, again, circumstances. For a long, long time, the best team he had that was really healthy and had a shot
Jason Kidd
was
literally.
with David West and fucking Tyson.
Jason
what's his
Kidd
fucking name?
literally dragged a garbage team to the NBA Finals 2 years.
What did the
in a
East
row.
look like?
I don't care.
Oh my
I know-
God, what
I
did-
know
no,
it was
what did the
bad.
East look
I
like?
know it was bad.
That's the worst conference that ever existed in basketball history. That East. Worse than the East now. Come on, dude.
He still got them there 2 years in a row.
It's the worst draft in NBA history.
2000.
Who was drafted?
Made the league worse.
He did. The league actually got worse because they let the players in. Who was drafted first?
Kenyon Martin.
He was like the second best player in the East. That's actually not true because Paul Pierce was better than, and so was Allen Iverson. But that conference was horrendous.
By the way, why does Buddy think that Pierce was like overrated?
I don't know. I think Buddy has a huge heart on for Kyrie.
I was telling him.
So is Kyrie's so good? Kyrie this. I'm like, dude, Kyrie makes things look effortless and his talent is incredible. But I'm not exactly
Pierce-
what you are.
Pierce was a
I
better-
think it's close.
Pierce-
I think it's close.
Pierce was a better
I think
all-around
Pierce
player.
Pierce is better right now because of longevity and all that stuff. Let's see at the end of Kyrie's career, but it's close.
I think,
It's close.
I think right now even Pierce's peak is better. Like 01 to 03.
Look, Pierce at his peak.
He was
a top
averaging
10
20,
player.
27 and 7 with hand checking.
Right. He's a top 10 player, and you know how I feel about Kyrie. Kyrie has that potential. I don't know that Kyrie.
02 and 03 and probably 04, Paul Pierce was a top 10 player in the league.
Pierce was actually a very good defensive player early on.
He could play D when he needed to.
A very good defensive player early on in his career. And then he just stopped playing defense because the team sucked.
There was a few years in there where he was just as good as Kobe Bryant, for all the Kobe people out there.
He was better than Kobe early on. I'd argue early 2000. I'd argue if you switch him in with Shaq, they actually are better. Honestly. That's just me. People go crazy if you say stuff like that, but it's called the truth for a reason. But don't punch. Oh. Anyways, what do you think of this? We're basically doing all Celtics right now. Not all NBA. What do you think of the Celtics team? Where are we? Where are we? What have we done?
The Hayward injury has caught up to them, and they're coming back down to earth.
I think Kyrie needs to step it up. I know you're like, he's scoring 30 a game.
There's only so much you can do. You know,
You say that last year with IT?
There's a different team
You
last.
said that in the Eastern Conference Finals last year? There's only
For
so
all the-
much you could do.
For all the crap I used to give Avery Bradley, this team would be much better with Avery Bradley.
Dude, I told you I wanted to get rid of Smart, not Avery. Avery can play. Smart can just punch things. I hate Marcus Smart. I hate Marcus Smart.
I think they need him though. Look how bad defensively they've been for the last week.
A lot of that's Kyrie too, and it's the young kids that just spent, man.
Actually, if you're talking, they're running out of gas. Tatum looks gassed. He looks tired. Like he's taking guys off the dribble and creating the space, but he doesn't have the legs. He's not hitting that jumper.
No, he's not.
But you know, he's a rookie. That's what happens. He's got to get in the weight room. I'm sure he will. He'll be fine, but he's struggling right now.
Look, in 2 years, this team could be great.
Could be. The other scary thing is we don't know what Hayward's going to look like when he gets back. You would like to think he's
Look,
going to be fine.
according to all the medical reports we got, by the hand of God,
fine.
there was like zero damage. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, there's this one thing and everything else was fine, which makes no sense because we all watched it like rip off his leg and fall off, and like someone had to duct tape it back on and go, don't worry, he's okay. Tough white guy, walk it off.
He couldn't walk it off.
Yeah, like,
No, they were talking to one of the doctors. As soon as he hit the deck, and some guy within a minute and a half went there and popped it back into place, which helped the healing process.
well, yeah, because it's about the amount of time, but
It was an ankle dislocation, but they said none of the tendons were damaged, which I don't understand. Again, I'm not a doctor, but that just doesn't make sense.
they said there was no damage to the tissue.
I know, and it makes no sense.
The way that it moved,
Makes no sense. No broken blood vessels, nothing.
right. I'm like, wait a minute.
The doctor said Paul George's was way worse, had way much more damage.
Dude, Tom
But-
Brady's
but
thumb injury was worse.
But Hayward's looked
Tom
worse.
injury had a
Tom injury?
Tom Brady, Tommy injury. Tom Brady dislocated his thumb, technically. And it popped out, and then it pushed so far out the bone that it lacerated the skin, and then they popped it back. And they put the stitches on. That was apparently worse because it caused blood than fucking Hayward's. You know what I mean? It's not the same level of injury, but it makes no sense.
The doctor who's been working with him says he's actually going to come back better. His bone's going to be stronger.
Oh, bones. This is weird. This is going to sound weird.
When you break a bone, it's stronger.
It takes more time to heal. It heals like 95% in the 4 to 6 weeks they give you usually, or 4 to 8 weeks. Depends on how fast you heal and such, but it heals like 95%. But then over the long haul, like over 18 months, then it does become stronger. It takes a long time for it to get stronger. It's not stronger immediately. People say like, oh yeah, it's gonna come back stronger right away. It doesn't technically come back stronger right away. It's weaker for still like a year, but it's healed. It's enough where it's like actually like durable.
That's why I don't risk bringing him back this year. Bring him back in October. I don't. You're not gonna win it.
It's maybe
don't
your
waste
best
your
shot.
time.
You never know.
Don't waste your time. Nope.
Kyrie could die tomorrow. He could fall off his flat earth. We have no idea what's going to happen to that man. His knees could go. We don't know. You never know. What did Doc say to that first year team with the Celtics?
This is your year. Don't let anyone tell you different.
Yeah. Don't let it pass you by because you don't know.
Does this team have Kevin Garnett?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Does this team have Paul Pierce? Does this team have Ray Allen?
Look. You take Ray out of it for a moment because he's no longer part of the organization. He did not go to Paul's thing.
Pierce said he didn't care.
You believe that?
I don't think
Ray Allen's out there getting catfished by dudes on the internet. Okay, come on. You don't think they can't? I mean, you don't think they don't wish that they got along better with Ray? This was Ray's chance to get forgive and forget. You realize that?
I didn't expect him to show up.
This was Ray's chance to forgive and forget. The fans like me are probably going to hate Ray forever. You realize that? This was Ray's chance. Okay? He didn't. He was the problem. It wasn't Rondo, as fucking crazy as Rondo is. Him and IT fighting was hilarious, by the way. The fighting. Not really fighting, but...
Oh, please.
You're not on Rondo's side there?
Huh? I think they're both idiots.
They are both idiots. But if there's one person that would be on Rondo's side, I would definitely be you.
No, Rondo was 100%.
I thought it was hilarious.
Rondo was 100% right. What the hell did this guy do? Why should he get a tribute video? But that was a month ago, dude. Let it go.
It's Rondo, dude. Rondo's a prick. They both look stupid. You hear Isaiah talking about it? He went off for like 5 minutes. Well, you know, everyone gets tribute videos. I mean, Patrick Beverly got a tribute video. Why do you know that Patrick Beverly got a tribute video? Why do you care?
Isaiah Thomas should not.
Chris Paul got a tribute video in LA, and he didn't win a championship. Yeah, no, people know. But why do you care?
Chris Paul was also there like 8 years. You were here like a year and a half. Get over it.
2.5.
Get over it.
2.5. 2.5. 2.5. Also, technically,
Isaiah Thomas.
Celtics are better last year than this year now.
Isaiah Thomas.
What seed are they right now?
They're second technically right now still.
Tatum's a good player. They've added talent. They're a worse team now than they were last year.
The offense isn't as good. Defensively, they're better, even though they've been horrible the last couple of years.
Not saying the Celtics lost the trade. They for sure didn't lose the trade.
Although
Cleveland got better.
If you go by defensive stats, Kyrie's like middle of the pack defensively. Isaiah's like dead last.
Kyrie's still a subpar defender for the most part. Isaiah Thomas is like the worst
defender
ever.
If here's average, like here's Kyrie.
Yes. Let me explain something to you.
Isaiah's like down here. Some of that is because of his size, but he doesn't put in the effort either. He doesn't. He lets the guy go right by him. It's pathetic. Ole.
Isaiah Thomas.
That's what it's like watching
is
Isaiah.
The John Farrell of defenders. Okay? I get it.
He was so bad at some points last year that Stevens would burn like 3 timeouts in a row, put him in for offense, timeout, take him out for defense, timeout, put him back in for offense.
That's the only thing Stevens knows how to do.
Because it's not hockey. You can't just like change lines on the fly without taking a timeout.
How come Stevens has taken more criticism?
What?
He's way overrated. Some people, I think Colin Cowherd, other people, he's the best coach in the NBA. Is he really? Has his team outgrown him?
I can't even say that Popovich is the best coach in the league. That was one of the biggest coaching blunders in the history of basketball.
Has this team outgrown Brad? What's Brad good at coaching? Young little scrappy teams that don't have any players. The little engine that could. All heart, no talent. This team has talent. He can't coach it. He knows how to put Semi Ojeleye in.
It's young talent. It's really young talent.
Do you think he's doing a good job managing it?
Did you really think that Tatum was going to average 20 a game the rest of the season?
I didn't think Tatum was ever going to average 20.
I love Tatum.
He was averaging.
No. He was averaging about 14 a game. But he hasn't been good lately. I think he had 10 points last night, and 7 of them came in garbage time.
Why does your coach let your team go down by like a dozen every game and then not call a timeout when the other team's making runs?
Yeah, Rivers did the same thing. The funny thing is, all the stuff I used to kill Rivers for, Stevens does too, to some extent.
I think he does it worse.
But
he has no rotation. He doesn't call timeouts.
The only difference was he didn't have Garnett, Pierce, and Allen. That's a big part of it. Put Garnett, Pierce, and Allen, then we'll talk. You got anything else, man?
Holy Jesus, look how far we've gone.
Exactly.
I mean, we can keep talking. I just want to say Ron Borges was wrong, but he got set up. It was ridiculous.
I thought you were going to talk about Christian Fourier and all of them getting sensitivity training.
That's kind of hilarious. I think they need it because they're idiots. It's not that I care about the PC. It's like, look, you make fun of Brady's daughter, you make fun of fucking Brady's agent. You're probably going to lose Tom Brady because you're fucking stupid. Okay? Kirk Minahan sucks. Their whole station sucks.
He and Brady actually get along, though.
I know. But you know who's one of their best people to talk sports? Dale Arnold. He actually fucking talks sports.
Oh, I can't stand
Boring as shit. It's like listening to paint dry. But he actually talks sports.
I hear Dale Arnold talking, and I picture Ned Flanders, and I just cringe.
But it's sports. I've gone back to listening to Toucher and Rich, because at least they talk more sports than Kirk does. Kirk just wants to cause drama and fight with people and argue about all this stupid shit.
Fire Mike
Talk about
Falga.
jerking off. Okay? That's
Fire
great.
Mike Falga.
I don't care about Kirk Minahan jerking off in a fucking SUV when he was 17 or whatever, 13 or whatever. Okay? I don't.
I can't listen to Fred Toucher.
He's better than Kirk!
Not by much.
But he's better. That's my point.
I don't think he is.
Janikowski was cut, by the way. Brady's last member of the 2000 draft. Still
another
playing.
milestone for Tommy.
We'll see if Janikowski picks up somewhere
He's
else.
in Brazil, banging his wife, reminding us how much better his
His
life
wife's
is.
banging him. Come on. That's how like it is. We've been over this. Anyways, other than that, and James Harden's going to win the MVP, I think we're good.
He can win the MVP. He ain't going to win the title. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to check us out on www.gamesadventures.com and YouTube. Type in Chris and Cash Podcast.
James Harden.
For this podcast and other podcasts.
Hey, Ma! Down with my segment!
We'll see you next week.